Mr. Infantino, why won't you resign?
Thank you so much.
Why won't you resign?
Thank you so much.
We tracked him down to the Caribbean. Gianni Infantino came here to the Dominican Republic. This was a business trip, the business of saving his skin. Football people in this part of the world, FIFA associations, want him out as their president. The sentiment is shared beyond these shores, in Europe and Asia. It follows his effort to sell off part of the World Cup to private investors. Infantino is now engaged in shuttle diplomacy to seek support for a fourth term as FIFA president. Concealed behind the trees of a VIP airport, he arrived by private jet from Doha in Qatar. For weeks, Infantino has dodged the media and questions on the football crisis he created. They are questions we wanted to ask. When we found him, we did. James Matthews from Sky News.
Thank you.
Have you betrayed the game of football? Have you betrayed the game of football,
sir?
sir?
You have a nice haircut.
Why won't you resign?
Thank you so much.
Why won't you resign?
Thank you so much.
Fans, FIFA associations want you to step down. Why won't you?
Sorry.
Have you betrayed the trust of FIFA, sir?
See you at the hairdresser. Sorry.
See you at the hairdresser, he said. He likes a baldy gag. His difficulty is the bare-faced cheek. That's the view of supporters groups worldwide, now adding a petition to calls for his resignation. They say he's made a mockery of football and has lost the right to lead it. This is a Caribbean fixture in a political game. On its outcome rests the future direction of the game itself. James Matthews, Sky News, in the Dominican Republic.
Well, here's sports correspondent Rob Harris with the latest development.
Sky News can reveal Gianni Infantino has been asked to stay away from a youth tournament this weekend in the Caribbean. I've learned the region's football leader wrote to Infantino on Friday saying his presence could undermine the under-14s event in the Dominican Republic. It was apparently sent as Infantino was flying into the country, and shortly after arriving, our own James Matthews caught up with him and tried to ask him about the World Cup sell-off venture and Infantino's own future. There are only jokes, not answers. But among those pushing for Infantino to leave office are the leadership of the Confederation covering North and Central America and the Caribbean. That is CONCACAF. And CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani wrote to Infantino yesterday to talk about the governance crisis caused by the World Cup venture and saying how the controversy would unfortunately significantly take away from this youth event, given the media focus would be on Infantino. This in part is what Montagliani then said. He's also a FIFA vice president. I respectfully ask you in the name of football to reconsider your attendance, as it will unfortunately undermine the technical nature of this important youth development activity. There's been no comment yet from FIFA about Infantino being asked to stay away, but he was warmly greeted by local officials on arrival in the Dominican Republic. It is one of 211 football associations around the world with a vote in the presidential election next year at FIFA, which is due for March. There is, though, that determined drive for Infantino to leave office. There is no rival candidate yet ahead of the deadline in November, but we have seen in the last 2 weeks CONCACAF joining up with the European and Asian confederations in saying that Infantino has breached trust through deception over how he was secretly negotiating with banks to sell shares in the World Cup to private investors. It has provoked a civil war in world football, with so many football associations, including England, Wales and Scotland, withdrawing previous endorsements for Infantino's re-election. And yet there is still support, particularly in South America, from the Common Ball Confederation, which wants the World Cup expanded to 48 teams and to host more games in 2030. And even in CONCACAF, Mexico, recent co-hosts have backed Infantino. And the African Confederation leader Patrice Motsepe told me recently it should be the election when Infantino's future is determined. His visit to the Dominican Republic, a sign how he's trying to shore up support, even as one of his own FIFA vice presidents, Victor Montagliani, tells him to stay away, showing these deep divisions out in the open.